Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Nightwing. And this is part of the 3-figure Collect and Connect, or what is it called? Collect to Build? I think it's Collect to Build, the Batmobile. And I will be taking a look at that when I get the Joker Who Laughs, or Batman Who Laughs rather. Because as of right now I have just Dick and Barbara, who Barbara will be next Wednesday. Because also, something I wanted to say. So last week I did the review for Clone Wars, the first episode of this season, and I'm going to do the Titans kind of thing that I did back at the October last year. If you were with the channel, you know what I'm talking about, where figure reviews came on Wednesdays instead of Fridays, and then Fridays were devoted to reviewing Titans, but this time it's going to be Clone Wars. And I'm going to do, it's going to be a little different. I have Colin with me, if you watch that video, where you discuss it and all that stuff, but we're actually going to change that method, and we're going to do live reaction to the episode itself. So you'll get to see our reactions in real time for what we were thinking, feeling while watching the episode. So if you guys want to see that stuff, you know, stay tuned on the channel. And if not, then every Wednesday I'm going to have figure reviews and toy hunts and everything like that. Figure-related things. So the channel's not changing. It's just kind of morphing, I guess. It's going back to what it was last October. But anyway, let's talk about Nightwing. So he comes with, let's go over his accessories. He comes with the base stand. It comes with all of the other figures, and it's just a black circle, and it says DC on it, and it's just printed on here. Has one peg hole. He comes with his Eskrima sticks, which they're identical, and they're like a gloss black. Let's see. They're like a gloss black. Got like a little bit of grip on there, everything. Nice little kind of ring around it, which is for storing on his back. So where's this one? This one goes over here. So you put that one like that on that clip, that one like that on that clip, and there you go. You can see this one's a little loose for some reason, but they won't slide out or anything. So that's good. They won't slide out, they won't fall out while you're messing with them, which is really good. That's very nice. So let's put these in his hand real quick. Actually, let's go over his detail and everything first. The head sculpt's very nice on here. It kind of reminds me of Charlie Heaton, I believe is his name. The kid from Stranger Things, Jonathan. So I think it kind of looks like him a little bit, which I'm okay with that. Which something else? Tell me who you guys would like to play Nightwing in the Nightwing movie that's coming out at some point. Hopefully at some point. I don't know. I mean, I'm perfectly content with the Brenton Thwaites version on Titans, as you know, if you watch my reviews, which I never did finish that, and I apologize for not finishing that. It's just YouTube was going through a whole bunch of stuff, and it was a whole mess. But the mask looks nice. I like it. I like the detailing. You can see like the eyes are painted very well. The mask is painted very well. Everything lines up perfectly. You can see is that coming across on camera very well? Not really, but there's a blue wash over the hair. You can kind of see it right here, a little bit of a blue wash. Which is pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the Mattel stuff. The old Mattel stuff, the DCUC stuff. The head is a double ball peg, and which is kind of cool because you can see that there's a gap right here, so it actually looks like he's wearing a suit, and it's not just pasted onto his body. The Nightwing symbol is a separate piece that is it molded, or is it an overlay? No, it's molded. Then you got it on the shoulders. It continues, goes around to the back, where you can see the clips, which these are, you can see right here, they're a little bit pliable. They're like a soft plastic material, so be careful with those. You don't want to break those off. You got there's some nice detailing, like, as I've said. You got these nice kind of, I don't even know what to call them. They're just patterns, I guess. But he's got, like, mesh right here, down here. Same pattern continued from the bicep on the thigh and everything. He's got the little blue wraps around the leg. Good old Nightwing butt. It's a good butt for Nightwing, I think. Got the back detail, just the muscles and everything. There's not really... The figure is simple, but also very detailed. And I think that's perfect for Nightwing because his suit is simple, but it has, you know, some detailing. He's got treads and everything for kicking people in the face, you know. And now, let's go over articulation. So the head can go up that far with both of them, down that far. Get a little bit of pivot, which is pretty good pivot. Rotation, that can look up, you know, as I said, it's all right movement. When you use the ab, articulation, it really, it definitely makes it better. Shoulders go up that far, go all the way around. As you know, nothing hindered. Got a butterfly joint, which you can drop the arm down, drop it up, have it go back and forth. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which go up all of the way, which is fantastic for Nightwing. No swivel or anything at the buckle or anything like on his gloves, but he's got the standard McFarlane joints, which you can go back and forth, or you can rotate it and then go in and out, which is sometimes a bit of a pain. Just be careful with it. You don't want to break it, because the figures aren't fragile. It's just you never know, like with how paint was applied to something, so it would stick or anything like that. And go back that far, ab articulation, pretty good. That far forward with the ab articulation, which is also pretty good. He's got tilt to the side, rotation at the diaphragm, and then rotation at the waist. Legs can go out. We're gonna force it a little bit. That far, better than Spider-Man. Can go forward that far, which if you look right here, it cuts into the crotch piece. So if you leave that for too long, it's probably gonna warp, like just right there. It warped a little bit, but just leave it, pushing it back down. It'll be fine. No thigh swivel or anything. Double jointed knees, which go up almost all the way. So that's pretty good. They go up about as much as they can. Oh, there you go. Perfect. They go up all the way. Which, I mean, what more could you want? They go down that far, up that far, pivot, and it's the same ball joint as the wrists. So you can rotate it and then do that. And then you've got toe joint, which I still find pointless and I will forever find pointless. But I love this figure, I really do. And it's very easy to get the batons, his scrimmage sticks, into his hands. Let's see, let's get them in there. Them in there. Ugh. Come on, Dick. There we go. So you can get him into a nice pose. You can get him into like a, whoa, turned a little too fast. Kind of a classic-ish Nightwing pose. Something, though, to note is whenever you're trying to move the, well, here, let's see. You can kind of see it whenever I do this. You can see the torso is turning a little bit. You got to be careful, because the way the McFarlane have done their figures when it comes to the thighs, it's the same problem with the McFarlane figure, or with the Fortnite figures from McFarlane. For some reason, they don't know how to do it so if you move the leg, it doesn't crash into the torso, which they need to figure that out. I hope they figure that out at some point soon, because even though, it might make a little bit of gap, but if it makes a little bit of gap, if it's more articulation, that's what we want. We want more. We want as much articulation as we can get out of a figure, minus toe joint for me, and finger joints. I'm glad they didn't do that with these, because I absolutely hate the finger joints. All right, here is Nightwing compared to Nightwings. So I got right here the DC UC Nightwing, the Arkham Knight Nightwing, the Icons Nightwing, and the, what was it, Batman Ninja DC Multiverse Mattel version Rebirth Nightwing. So these two have the same suit. This is definitely better executed, in my opinion. And we got the classic kind of, well, this is from Hush. This is just, I don't even know, this isn't from Hush, is it? Actually, it might be, because it doesn't have the actual, like, bird kind of, like, head on it. It could be a Hush one as well, because it's got it going down the arms and everything. I don't know. Someone please tell me in the comments. And then obviously the Arkham Knight version from the video game. Up until like 3 years ago, this was the only one I had. This was like my holy grail figure that I was trying to find for the longest time, and I found it on eBay and I bought it. And then I also found one in the box and I bought that one. Well, actually, no. I bought this one like on Buy It Now, and then I put in a bid before that for the boxed Nightwing, and I was like, for sure, I was like, I'm not gonna win this, so I'm just gonna buy this loose one that I found, just so I have it. And then I ended up winning the boxed version, so I have the 75th anniversary, I believe is what it was. Maybe, I think it was that 75th anniversary DCUC Nightwing in a box up on a shelf, along with a Game Reverse Spider-Man and then the Endgame Captain America. I got a nice little boxed collection going on up there. But anyway, that's not the point. So, for what, I love all of these for what they are. I think probably, let's go, if we're going to rank this favorite to least favorite, it'll probably have to be, I'd say least favorite is this one, is the Mattel Rebirth one. And it's a good figure. I love it. I love putting it, because I'm going to put it in a display with all of my other Mattel, like, Bat Family ones that I have. Like the Red Hood and the Tim Drake and all that stuff, because they won't jive with the new figures, and they don't jive really well with the old figures or the icons. So he has a place on my shelf. But I'd say it goes that one, and then I don't know. I'd say this one. I'd say the other Mattel one, because this one has more articulation and that one does as well. I like the design of this one, but I think this one has to be next. I'm not the biggest fan of the kind of weird like half helmet thing that he's got going on. Kind of like Wally's helmet, honestly, which I'm okay with Wally's, but it doesn't look good on Nightwing. And then this one, the Icons Hush one, and then this one's my favorite. There's so much mobility with it. It's a really good offering, honestly. Like, the head sculpt is great, the articulation's great, the detailing where there can be detail. It's because in the comics he doesn't really have that much detail. It's just kind of more like this or like this, and he's just got a couple details here and there. But I like the addition. It's nice because it's not just a straight black figure. It has some like nice little detailing and everything throughout it, but not too much to where it's not like comic Nightwing, you know? And I love it. I do. So this is my favorite one, and I'm going to show you guys some other comparisons with other lines. Tai Chi, more like tight cheeks. Before I show you guys the next set of comparisons, we have to do a Nightwing butt comparison. So which Nightwing figure has the best butt? You can't really see Icon's Nightwing's butt. Is that gonna come through? There you go. So, Arkham Knight's got a flat butt. That's not very Nightwing. DCUC has a kind of muscly butt, but it's kind of broken up by the sculpt, so that one's also out. The Rebirth one, from the back, not that great, but from the side, it's got a pretty plump butt. So I think it might be this one, because his is like a tight little butt. It's not Nightwing. Nightwing's got a big old juicy butt with like 4 C's. It's got thick. Nightwing's thick, as we know. Icon's one's pretty good, but it's a little small because it's a small figure. So I think Rebirth, the McFarlane one, they kind of nailed it. They nailed the Nightwing butt. Nightwing's butt's Batgirl approved. And here he is compared to his other comic book figures of the line so far that we have, minus Harley, who's kind of an animated one, but also a comic one at the same time. I do want to pick that one up at some point. But the Batman Who Laughs is the other one that I'm missing. And I gotta say, Nightwing's a little tall. He's a little too tall. But when you get him into an acrobatic pose, it's fine because he's like a little hunkered down and everything. Plus Superman will be flying. Batman will also be in an action pose. It's not that big of a deal. But comparatively, these two look fine together. I'd say these two look fine together. You could just have Nightwing be a little tall. It's not that big of a deal. You know, height, people change heights. So, also, sneak peek of probably in my top 10 favorite figures of the year will be ding 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 Batgirl and Nightwing probably as well. Maybe even Superman, honestly. Batman, no, I don't like that figure very much. He's not that great. He's okay, but his face looks weird. But these three though. These are my favorites so far from the McFarlane line, and I cannot wait to have more. And now here he is compared to my custom Deathstroke from McFarlane figures and other assorted things, which I still have yet to make a video on this. If you guys want to see how I made this and everything like that, let me know and I will make a video. And if not, I'll probably make one eventually. And the McFarlane Arrow Season 5, 6, and 7 suit, Oliver. Sadly not Season 8, but we'll probably get that at some point. Which, this figure I also probably will review at some point soon. You can see he doesn't have the quiver on because the quiver that he has is garbage, and I'll show you how to fix it. And also, different bow as well. And here he is with some more DC Multiverse Mattel figures in Alfred, Starfire, Tim Drake Robin, and Jason Todd Red Hood. And I'd say Starfire doesn't work. Tim, you could fudge. Alfred, you could fudge. Jason, absolutely not. You could not fudge that. I do not have the Essentials one, so sadly I cannot compare that. But here, he is with, let's see how Kate looks next to him. Yeah, that's a no. Kate's not going to work here. I hope we get a Batwoman from the CW show to go with the Green Arrow we got and everybody else, like Flash and Supergirl and everything like that. You know, from the McFarlane line as we go on in Black Lightning and everything, and Superman and all that stuff. Maybe a Diggle Green Lantern? Who knows? But I'd say the only two that really work that you could fudge into your McFarlane display would be Alfred and Tim. Because you could be like, oh, Tim, he's, you know, younger still, so it's, you know, and Alfred, I think Alfred just kind of works, honestly. So, now here he is next to the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Captain America and the DC Essentials Reverse Flash. And if you wanted to put him in a Marvel Legends display, have him fight people, I don't think it would work very well, unless you really did some, like, trick of the camera stuff. So you could put, like, Cap right here, like, really up close, and it would, you know, kind of work. Like, oh, Captain America's going to fight Nightwing. You just got to do some trick of the camera stuff. But if you want to display, then no, you really can't. But Reverse Flash, also, if you fudged it a little bit, like if you brought him a little bit farther forward, you could fudge him in with your display. If you don't want the Essentials Nightwing, which I do not have, sadly. I also didn't buy the Batgirl because I wasn't a big fan of that. Which, yeah, also brings in my next thing. The Batgirl that I showed, you know, from the McFarlane line. It's my first Batgirl figure. I've been waiting for a very long time to get a Batgirl figure because I wanted a good one for my first figure. But I think this works. I think you could fudge Reverse Flash, because if you watch my Batman and Superman review, which I will link it right here, right, you know, in these card things. If you watch that, I put Flash in with Batman and Superman, and it actually kind of worked a little bit. So I think you could fudge in your Essentials with the McFarlane line if you really wanted to, until, like, as placeholders until we got McFarlane versions, or if you just want a couple figures from the McFarlane line to put in your Essentials line. I think you could. You just gotta play with the posing a little bit and everything, and I think it would work. And now here he is with the Mafex Justice League Superman and the Mezco 112 Jim Gordon, and I don't think that he's gonna fit in with either of these. So whenever we get the Mafex comic Batman, Mafex comic Superman, Mafex comic Catwoman, which I will be reviewing on the channel, so you guys want to see those when those come out, you guys can hit that subscribe button if you want. If not, I understand. It's not your cup of tea. I get you. But Gordon, see, I don't have the Sovereign Knight Batman or any of the other. I don't have any other Mezcos outside of Gordon. I really want to get into the line, but they're just so expensive, you know. And there's just so many domestic lines that I buy. Like Marvel Legends mostly is the biggest thing. Like if I didn't collect Marvel Legends, I probably could buy all the import figures that I wanted to. But Marvel Legends, there's just so many that I want, you know. But I think, I'm pretty sure he's only like maybe like half a head, if even that, taller than Gordon. I don't think it would work unless you really, really got into posing him into a certain way. Like, let's see. Let's get him into getting ready to kick some criminal butt kind of way and get his leg. Damn it. Like that. If you did something along those lines of getting him... Oh, hold on. Let's get his foot planted a little bit more. And say you did that. He's still super tall. So you'd have to maybe like put him back here, have him like fighting with Gordon, so you can have like a nice little, like getting ready to beat up some criminals and stuff. Or maybe Gordon at a crime scene, Dick coming up behind him to help out with the investigation. Same with Superman. I think it could. If really, you could honestly put him with any other figure that's like of 6-inch, 7-inch scale, and you could fudge it with some trick of the camera, some, you know, trick of everything. Really, you could do that if you wanted to. And just for some schnats and ghouls, here he is with the Star Wars The Black Series Cara Dune, whatever you want to call her, and Tommy White Ranger, both from Hasbro. I don't really think that even trick of the camera would help here, honestly. I know what I said, but I don't know. Because, I mean, you maybe could, like, a little closer, have him be fighting in the foreground while he's in the background fighting. You could do some crossover stuff, which I believe it was. Yeah, it was DC that crossover with the Power Rangers, which was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was. Yeah, it was the Justice League and the Power Rangers, which that was cool. So if you want to do something like that, again, you're gonna have to do some serious trick of the camera. But okay, here, just we'll go into my final thoughts here. Okay, so overall, I love this figure, and I'm so excited to have it as part of my collection. This is my favorite Nightwing figure that I own, as I said when I compared all the Nightwings. And I'm excited to get more from the McFarlane line, and I will be reviewing all of those figures that I do purchase from the line on the channel. So, but overall, the articulation is pretty solid. I really want them to fix the waist to thigh issue with it clashing, with the plastic clashing together. Because if they fix that, this would be a 10 out of 10 figure for me, honestly. But because of that, I got to give it an 8. I think that really, because Nightwing, you know, you got to have him do like a super high kick, and you can't really do it with him. So that's a problem for me. But other than that, I love this figure. I think this figure is really good, and if you are a Nightwing fan, I think you'll enjoy it. Even if you're not a McFarlane fan, if you're still on the fence because, you know, McFarlane, their figures in the past have not had a lot of articulation, one, you're kind of wrong, because in the past, about six or 7 years, they've had pretty decent articulated figures with the Walking Dead figures, the Fortnite figures, and now the DC line. So if anyone is like, oh, I don't like McFarlane because they don't have articulation, you're full of shit. So if you don't want to get in the line, just say you don't want to get in the line, or say you don't prefer them. Don't say they don't have articulation, because they do, and they're good figures. They have good sculpts, they have good articulation, just amazing attention to detail, and the paint apps are really good. So anyone who says, oh, the paint apps are garbage too, they're not. You just gotta, you know, every company has bad figures sometimes. So you see one bad figure and you write off the whole line, that's your own damn fault. So what can I say? I mean, what else can I say about this figure? It's great, and I love it. And if you're a Nightwing fan and you're a DC fan, figure fan, all that jazz, if all of the things have come together and it's your cup of tea, buy it. You will not be sorry. And even if, you know, and something else, honestly, even if you don't really want a Batgirl that much, or you don't want the Batman Who Laughs, I mean, if you really need a Batgirl in your collection, then that's honestly the best Batgirl figure that's ever existed. Hey, the treads can come off of here. That's cool. The Batmobile's worth it, honestly. I really like this thing. This thing's fun. This is really fun to mess around with. I don't even have the other side yet, and I've already had so much fun with this thing. I do not have the Bat Cycle, though, which I don't know if I'll get. It's not a Bat Cycle. It's like, what is it? The Bat Raptor? I hope we get a Bat Cycle. I think we will with the Robert Pattinson Batman, which goes, we'll get that figure. There's no way we won't get a figure from that. I mean, come on, it's a Batman movie. But I will see you guys on Friday, actually, for the Clone Wars live reaction with Colin. So if you guys want to see that, then come on over. We'd love to have you. And if not, then I'll see you next Wednesday for a figure review, which will be Batgirl. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.